What started out as a simple solution to a pandemic-caused problem is now celebrating a milestone this weekend in Scottsbluff. KNEB.TV News starts right now.
From your trusted source for news in western Nebraska and eastern Wyoming, this is KNEB.TV News. Presented by Platte Valley Companies, premier provider of financial services.
Hello, I'm Ryan Murphy. This is KNEB.TV News powered by Platte Valley Companies. Thanks for joining me. In our top story, the Friends of the Midwest Theater are inviting the community to help them celebrate the one-year anniversary of the opening of the Midwest SkyView Drive In this weekend. Theater director Billy Estes says it has been a long year for everybody, but the SkyView has been one place people could still escape for a little while.
You know, when we moved up here to the permanent location of the SkyView last June, we intended to run it just through, the latter part of August, first week of September. And then as COVID continued to exist in our community and the ramp up here, the spike that we had back in October, we just kept the drive-in open, and we just kept the drive-in open all winter long. We did our Christmas series here, and then it was like we were going to shut down in January, and the weather didn't get cold, so we just kept it open. And here we are, 50-some weeks later.
Since opening on June 12, 2020, the SkyView Drive-In has served over 14,000 patrons. Estes says they plan to continue and build on to the success of the experience.
We're gonna keep the drive-in going. The board has recently voted to allow us to move forward into a bid process to build a permanent concession stand and ADA accessible restrooms, and they'll also include a projection booth in that building. So we hope to be working on that in early July and maybe be into it before the end of the season. But with that, as our plans are to keep the drive-in going. If we get 15-20 years out of it, it would be pretty awesome.
Peter Rabbit 2 will be shown tonight, and Encore Night's Florida-Georgia Line drive-in concert will be on Saturday night. He says there will be a special one-year anniversary giveaway for several lucky people this weekend as well. Well, city officials, ball players, their parents, and league supporters gathered around the concession stand yesterday for a dedication ceremony for the new Dome Rock Diamonds ballfield complex in Gering. During his remarks on the new facility, Mayor Tony Kaufman noted that youth sports are a long-time tradition in the region that the city is committed to and wants to reinvest in from time to time.
Years ago, we had a sports facility study completed in the community, and we looked at both Scottsbluff and Gering, and baseball facilities are definitely highly utilized, and definitely is a special place in all of our hearts, as we can tell how well attended we are tonight.
The facility has already been the host site for one large tournament since the city took possession of the ball fields earlier this year. In addition to the unveiling of the dedication plaque on the concession stand, officials also displayed a special bench dedicated to the memory of Jim Green, a longtime supporter and participant in youth baseball locally and across Nebraska. Well, coming after the break, Bill Boyer's in with your weekend weather forecast. He'll have that for you right after the break here on KNEB.TV News.
At Platte Valley Bank, we believe it shouldn't cost you money to access your money. That's why we offer free ATMs anytime, anywhere. Whether you are across town or traveling abroad, there won't be an added expense to access the funds in your Platte Valley Bank account. Free ATMs are just one of the great benefits of banking with us. Stop by to talk to one of our friendly associates to discuss what else Platte Valley Bank has to offer.
High Plains Auto Club presents the Father's Day Rock and Roll Classic Friday, June 18th. Registration begins at 2 p.m. at the Gering Civic Center with a welcome barbecue, cruise for cash, ice cream social. Saturday, June 19th, a parade, show and shine, and awards banquet. To enter, go to highplainsautoclub.com or call 308-765-2418. This event is sponsored by Bill Winemaster Livestock, Bill and Jody Winemaster, Dooley Oil, Monument Inn and Suites.
If you're like me, you're willing to travel for a good steak and a great dining experience. Bobby Joe's Branding Iron in downtown Bayard has just that. Some of the Panhandle's tastiest flat iron steaks, ribeyes, and even prime rib. Pair that with a Western dining experience in our quiet dining room or fun-filled main dining area, you and your family are sure to have a great night out on the town. So if you're looking for a great new restaurant to try, you just gotta head on over to Bobby Joe's Branding Iron in Bayard, open Tuesday through Sunday for lunch and dinner.
This is KNEB.TV weather from the KNEB Storm Center, your trusted source for weather.
Well, we've got pretty comfortable conditions tonight. Hopefully you get out and enjoy it. If you haven't had a chance to get outside today, you're going to want to this evening. We have temperatures in the 70s, cooling down into the 60s and eventually the 50s. A very pleasant evening. We got those winds to go down, and it was pretty comfortable. It's going to be comfy tonight, turning hotter tomorrow. We have a prolonged heat wave coming our way. We're talking 90s and low 100s for 7 to maybe 10 days. That we've got coming our direction starting tomorrow. It is going to be very, very warm out there. Some days will certainly be hotter than others. Like yesterday, we were 99, missed a record by 2 degrees. Low was only 65. Normals 52 and 82, so we're 17 degrees above normal for a high and about 13 degrees above normal low for yesterday. So very mild and hot conditions, and unfortunately we're Zippo here in the rain gauge, unfortunately. Here's the last couple of weeks. We showed this yesterday as well, but again, we had a couple of days here, the very end of May, where we were below normal in temperatures, or very close to normal anyway. Then starting the second day of June, we trended above normal. We were right at normal today, or very close to it. And then that's it. We're going back into the red, and we'll be above normal for the next week to 10 days at least. 70s and near 80 out there. It's a beautiful evening tonight, folks. Can't reiterate it enough. Get out and enjoy it tonight because this weather is not going to last. We have 70s and low 80s here across the area. 77 in Chadron, 81 in Ogallala, 79 in Valentine. Winds are light as well this evening. They've come down from where they were when that cold front blew through. You can still see the stronger winds off to our north and east where that front's still making its way through. Futurecast is going to be pretty boring here over the next couple of days. We're going to have very little, if anything, going on, very little clouds, quiet weather conditions out here overnight, and low temperatures that are going to fall down into the 50s, a pretty comfortable night overnight. A couple of upper 40s can't be ruled out tonight, 48 in Alliance, 50 down in Kimball. For tomorrow, we're going to have sunshine pretty much all day long. Not much going to keep the sun away from us, and that's going to help warm temperatures back up as we bring that warm air returning to the region. High pressure is going to take a grip on us and really not going to have much in the way of winds for the next 7 days, not much in the way of clouds, and certainly not much in the way of precip. Hottest again here in the North Platte River Valley with low 90s, upper 80s elsewhere. And again, we have a long period coming here of little, if any, precip and well above normal temperatures here over the next 7 days. It starts with tomorrow, but first we get through tonight where it's going to be beautiful, clear skies, very nice weather tonight, 52 comfortable degrees for a low. Enjoy that because it changes. It starts tomorrow, the beginning of the heat wave in the low 90s. It's going to be turning hotter tomorrow. Tomorrow it's going to be a tolerable day in the low 90s. There's a couple of days next week that you might want to list as not tolerable. Sunday will be in the upper 90s, again Monday as well in the upper 90s. And then look at Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We've got high temperatures in the lower 100s, maybe up even into the 105 territory. That is very, very hot weather conditions, and still in the low 90s on Friday when we drop temps about 10 degrees, but very, very hot weather conditions. Lows at night only in the mid and upper 60s, and again, those high temperatures dangerous and in record territory or above record territory there in the 100 to 105 degree range Tuesday through Thursday.
Logos in Gering is the place to get all of your school spirit gear, personalized gifts, and promotional items for your business and employees and banners for any special event. Logos is also the only place to stop for custom screen printing or embroidery. You can even design it yourself on their interactive website. Stop into Logos today. They'll design it, print it, and have it to you in no time. There's no job too big or small for Logos. That's Logos in Gering.
What a year 2020 was. Now's the time to get out and travel this summer to see family and friends you were not able to see this last year. Spend more time enjoying your trip by flying United Airlines, operated by SkyWest with daily flights to and from Denver. Reserve your flight today and remember United miles can be earned and redeemed with your flights. While at the airport, stop and enjoy authentic Italian food at Roma Italian Restaurant. And don't forget, Thrifty Car Rental is here for your car rental needs. Make life easier, relax, and hitch a ride with your BFF, Western Nebraska Regional Airport.
You might not know that Renewal by Anderson is a local family business. The owner here is Andy Stelflew. He's a fourth-generation rancher who learned about customer service and the land of opportunity early on.
Over and over again I heard, it's about the customer. It's signature service, treating the customer the right way. What a blessing it is to live in America. What a blessing it is to live in a country of the free, that if you want to do something grow, you can.
Renewal by Anderson, great windows and great local people who never forget it's about the customer.
Welcome back. A 24-year-old Gering man who was the target of a November Wing Drug Task Force bust is a wanted man after failing to show up for his trial yesterday in Scottsbluff County District Court. Jacob Johnson is facing felony charges of possession of heroin with intent to distribute within 1,000 feet of a school zone, possession of methamphetamine, and tampering with a witness. Court records show that Johnson attempted to wire money to a woman who was going to help him acquire 22 grams of heroin and 7 grams of methamphetamine. A search of his home resulted in the seizure of 10.5 grams of heroin, as well as a money transfer receipt with the woman as the recipient. Johnson was supposed to show up for his trial on Thursday morning, no-showed, and now a bench warrant for his arrest has been issued. Sticking with the courts now, as a June 15th court date in Scottsbluff County has been set for a former Panhandle trooper who was arrested on suspicion of child enticement and possessing child pornography. 24-year-old Brandon Dolezal was arrested last month, which followed a criminal investigation that began after a teen told a Gering school resource officer that he was concerned because 2 girls he knew were messaging with an older man on Snapchat. Court documents said interviews with the girls and a search of Snapchat records revealed that one of the girls had sent explicit photos to Dolezal, and the conversations were sexual in nature. The State Patrol fired him in March after an internal investigation. Dolezal was apprehended in Sarpy County and has yet to make an appearance here locally. And Nebraska continues to report a small number of new COVID-19 cases, but that number crept up slightly over the past week. State health officials said Nebraska recorded 280 new coronavirus cases over the past week, which was up from 237 cases the week before. But as recently as April, the state was reporting more cases than that in a single day. The state said 54 people were hospitalized with the virus across Nebraska as of Wednesday. That number had been below 100 since mid-May, and it is a fraction of the November peak of 987. Well, still to come, your Fridays in the Field, weekend community calendar, and your Friday 5. KNB.TV News will be back in just 90 seconds.
Welcome to Kelly's, home of the Valley's best selection of wine, spirits, and beer. Whether you're brand loyal to the tried and true brew or really enjoy trying something different and new, Kelly's has something for everyone. Family owned and operated and right on your way on West 27th Street in Scottsbluff. Kelly's Liquor. If you can't find it at Kelly's, it's not worth drinking.
The 100th Annual Oregon Trail Days rolls into Gering July 8th through the 11th. Barbecues, street dance, food fair, a car show, 2 parades, Old Settlers Luncheon, bicycle hill climb, mud volleyball, a pancake feed, chili and barbecue cook-offs, an art show, a craft show, and a quilt show, a carnival, beer and wine tasting, and Sawyer Brown with Ned Ledoux at Five Rocks. It's summer's best weekend. The 100th Annual Oregon Trail Days, July 8th through the 11th.
Who is Hydrotex? Hydrotex manufactures and distributes over 300 different high-performance lubricants, including fuel conditioners, hydraulic and transmission fluid, and more. We've been helping customers improve their operations for more than 80 years with products made in the USA. We sell directly to customers and can even deliver right to your door to offer excellent service and value. Our products are made to exceedingly extend drain and grease intervals to reduce maintenance and labor costs to improve the budget. Whether you're in a factory, farm fleet, or like to go fast, Hydrotex is here to help. Visit your local Hydrotex dealer in person or online today.
In boots, new and old, you've walked the rows of life, a fence length of time. You fought the floods, snow, and sweltering heat. and lifted breathing and settled pain. With a smile and a cry, you've strengthened your community and future generations. Sometimes with nothing to say. Often can't say enough. Like, let me do it again.
It's time for this week's edition of Fridays in the Field, which is brought to you by FNBO, the Great Big Small Bank. And this week, we are traveling to East Central Nebraska. We're near Dwight with Ryan Pekarik. He is the owner of Pekarik's Produce. Ryan, we're going to get to learn all about your operation throughout the growing season. So thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you.
So first of all, tell us a little bit more about your operation and what you guys do here.
We run Pekarik's Produce in eastern Butler County. We have about 15 acres of vegetables planted outside. We'll start planting outside in late March, and we'll stop planting outside vegetables in September. We have 6 greenhouses where we'll grow plants for the field and vegetables in ground that we'll harvest and go to markets and wholesale outlets with.
And all of this happens throughout the entire year, actually 12 months out of the year. Walk me through that process.
So the year kind of starts in March. We'll start doing field work as early as we can, getting ground ready, fertilized, and beds ready to go. We start planting cool season crops in April and May. Right now out we have things like radishes, peas, lettuce, spinach, carrots, beets. We're just starting into a strawberry season for the spring. We're standing in a field of kohlrabi, broccoli, cabbage, and cauliflower. We have sweet corn out, and then eventually out of the cool season stuff, we'll kind of transform over into cucumbers, peppers, melons, tomatoes, harvesting sweet corn in July. And then at that same time period in July, we plant a lot of cool season crops again. We'll plant carrots, beets, cabbage, broccoli, cauliflower in July and August, and we'll harvest those crops in October and November. We store a lot of potatoes, winter squashes, carrots, and beets over the winter. So basically we'll have sales 52 weeks of the year with either fresh vegetables from the field or fresh vegetables from storage out of our coolers.
Wow, that's a lot. So this time of year, what do you guys focus on?
Right now it's kind of production. We're not quite full on picking yet. We can handle most of the picking 1 or 2 days a week. In another, say 3 weeks or something, we'll be into like zucchini and cucumbers, and we'll pick on those 5 or 6 days a week depending on the weather. We're doing a lot of weed control. We've got a couple small tractors. One from the 50s, one from the 2010s that we'll do cultivation with for weed control. We still use a lot of Christmas herbicide, which is ho-ho-ho, to clean some things up. About 2 more weeks and we'll be full on picking, getting going. And then basically we'll run what I call farming, which is the growing side of it, and then pick, pack, and sell is the other side of it simultaneously.
So that pick, pack, and sell side, you guys are in a lot of different places all year round. Tell me about where we can find Pekarik's Produce.
In the summertime, we're at 2 farmers markets in Lincoln on the weekends. Saturday, we're down in the Haymarket. We've been there for about 16 years, and this is our 4th year. We're doing the Sunday market in Lincoln. We'll have both of those every weekend until mid-October. We're going to pick the Seward market up now that we're done with COVID and life's back to normal. We do retail off the farm. We're just kind of getting going with that as we get more crops coming out of the field. We have a vegetable subscription where people prepay, buy 18 boxes of produce. It's a one-time payment in the front of the season, and then we're into our 4th week of that, I believe, and that'll run until late September. One of the last things people get is a jack-o'-lantern pumpkin when we do that. And then by that late fall, or when fall turns, say August, then farmers markets start to slow down a little. We're still there, but there's other things on people's idea or on their time schedule. So then we'll start in wholesaling to a couple schools. We'll go to Omaha Public Schools, and East Butler Public Schools is our local district. And then we have a wholesale company that will sell into restaurants, some more schools, grocery stores in Lincoln and Omaha.
So as you're talking about all this, I'm thinking about all of the management. I mean, you listed like 30 different crops that you're growing, but you told me just before we started recording that it's a lot like row crop farming. Is that true?
It is and it isn't, yeah. So I joke that we plant for 7 months of the year or more. We'll start planting in the greenhouse in February. We quit planting in September, but we fight the same weather. Everybody's corn and beans right now are really slow. Our watermelons and tomatoes are really slow. Our sweet corn is really slow. We need more heat. We have a lot of cool season stuff. Carrots look phenomenal. Beets look phenomenal. Potatoes look good. Cabbage and broccoli, cool and wet. Those crops are fine with this. So we have more diversity. The weather doesn't always beat everything up, but we fight the same wind. We fight the same rain. We get the same good weather. We get the same hail that everybody else does. So.
Absolutely. I know we have a lot to learn throughout this growing season, but for now, as we round out this conversation, what do you plan to be doing in the next 5 weeks or so until we chat again?
Next 5 weeks will be mostly growing and getting going on the picking. Wholesale accounts will start to fire back up. The slow time of the year for us selling is like April and May. We don't have anything left in storage. We're out of potatoes, we're out of squash, carrots. But then we need time to grow stuff in the field, and this year we need extra time. We've been in the 40s like everybody else in the morning. We're not growing a lot when it's late May and we're 62 degrees for the high. So.
All right, all things to look forward to coming up. That again is Ryan Picard joining us. He's the owner of Picard's Produce near Dwight, Nebraska, for this week's edition of Fridays in the Field, brought to you by FNBO, the Great Big Small Bank.
New looks and new decor can be found at Compliments for You and Your Home. Check out the newest styles from Tribal, Charlie B, Ethel, and more. Compliments also has the shoes, purses, and jewelry for any occasion. Plus, right now, get 20% off all clearance apparel. While here, take a look at our solar lights and felt birdhouses. Finally, visit our newest addition, Katie Chandler and her salon. All this at Compliments for You and Your Home, 1708 Broadway, downtown Scotts Bluff.
When it comes to helping local folks with the loans and financial advice they need, we don't horse around. Our only goal is to help you and your family achieve your financial goals with the right loans and savings products. So if you want to bank with people that care about you and your financial needs, stop by or give us a call. First State Bank. We're big on you. Member FDIC. Online at fsbcentral.com.
Well, let's take a peek at what's happening on your weekend community calendar. That's a look at today's community calendar, brought to you by First State Bank, honoring those who give back. Nominate your community champion at fsbcentral.com.
Find out what convenient really means at the Western Travel Terminal. Start with our great selection of food and drinks, from for real milkshakes and fresh brewed coffee to snacks and hot food. Next, check out our beer and spirits with their everyday low prices. Finally, let us work for you with our full-service gas station and automatic truck and car wash. All this can be found at 822 South Beltline in Scottsbluff. Western Travel Terminal, your convenient shopping, restaurant, and full-service gas leader.
Why bank at a local community bank? When you choose a local community bank, you keep money in our local economy. That money helps support local jobs, schools, and businesses. Money that helps fund a stronger and prosperous community for us all to enjoy and live in. At Platte Valley Bank, we are here to help build and support the community we love being a part of. We believe that together, we can make great things happen. Platte Valley Bank.
And finally tonight, before we break for the weekend, Bryce and Alex in with your Friday Five.
Okay.
Slap it. 3, 2, 1.
As you saw last week, it is officially summer. We're talking about all things summer food, and of course this week we've got to focus on the
Watermelon.
The watermelon. We're going to show you 5 things you can do with a watermelon here on today's episode.
Watermelon hack number 1, we're gonna make ourselves a keg.
You might be wondering, why not just use the perfectly good container here to make a keg? Why? Because apparently we like to make things a little more difficult for ourselves. So, step 1, we're going to cut the bottom of the rind off. Step 2,
You have to cut the top off.
what are you doing?
I'm getting your keg out.
Get the
Your keg tap.
Tap the keg.
Okay, now we need to dig it out.
Okay, it's on there backwards, but the fact of the matter is it's on. You know?
Okay.
Look at that spigot.
This is the first thing you can do with a watermelon. You can make a keg.
Wow.
Now that we have a keg, we gotta put something in the keg, which means we're gonna make some watermelon slushies. We have limited supplies here in the office, so I'm going to crush it with my fingers. If you drink, don't drive, do the watermelon. Do. Stir.
Oh no, Alex.
Stir.
No one wants this. No one wants your fingers in their food.
And a little bit of lime juice.
All right, Alex.
What do we got?
We really need some vodka.
We made, first step, we made the keg. Step 2, we made the punch. It's so cool. Actually, it's not too bad. Look at that. Look how cool it is. It's a freaking watermelon keg.
I think it's plugged. Wow.
Step number 3, watermelon jello. Now that we've got watermelon cut in half, we are using this half to make watermelon jello. So we need to gut this bad boy out.
I'm good at that.
And while you do that, I'm gonna go prep the jello.
Okay.
Here is just standard jello.
Oh,
prepared as it's recommended.
You didn't fill it up.
Oh no!
Oh no!
This watermelon jello is ready to go in the fridge. We'll check back tomorrow to see how it goes.
3 weeks later. All right, so we waited about 24 hours or so for the jello to set up. Let's check out how it turned out.
Solid jello. It didn't look like it, but it is. That's good stuff.
Is it watermelon flavored?
Well, we bought cherry, so no.
Okay, we're working on the jello. Next, we're gonna work on the next one. I'm told this is watermelon pizza. Have I heard of it? No. Alex found it online, so we're gonna give it a try. So step one, I'm going to spread the Cool Whip.
We're gonna spread the Cool Whip. So this is gonna resemble a fruit pizza if you've ever had one of those. So I'm told. You're just gonna scoop it up, spread it on top,
Yeah,
and we've got some fruit to put on top of said fruit. Now, we just put fruit on it. Now we got a fruit pizza on a fruit. How cool is that?
So I've done 4 things. You might be wondering, what else can you do with a watermelon? Apparently, if you have extra and they go bad, there's an alternative for you.
Yes.
You could try to break the world record for squeezing a watermelon between your thighs and crushing it to death. In 3, 2, 1.
Three, 2, 1.
3,
2.
I'm a mess. I'm an absolute mess. The watermelon has been crushed. Thank you everybody.
I didn't even make a dent in mine.
It's been quite a day here at the Innovation Cable Studios. First we made a cake. Then we made some
Slush to go in the cake.
Slush. We added some sugar. It wasn't bad.
It was okay.
It wasn't great.
Watermelon jello, watermelon pizza.
And last but not least, with my incredible strength, like Hulk, I crushed a watermelon between my legs.
And that is 5 things you can do with watermelons later on this summer.
Thanks, guys. Well, that does it for us this time. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a great weekend. Stay safe out there, and we'll see you here back on Monday.